Look, it's gonna be fine. You just got back from a mental health break. You're doing good now. You just gotta sit down, watch the funny movie, and make the people laugh. That's all you gotta do. Alright, I can do this. Let's go.
I dream of a world where everyone I know has scars on their wrist.
Fuck. Hey, what's up, guys? My name doesn't matter anymore because the only thing you're gonna remember from this video is how bad Emo the Musical was. Before I get into today's topic, I just want to remind you guys that we are very, very close to our subscriber goal. We are looking to hit 1,000 subscribers by April 1st, so if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button down below so we can continue to make content like this for you. Now, back to the video. If you've never heard of this movie before, then congratulations. You're a sane human being. Emo the Musical is a project done by a guy named Neil Triffitt back in 2014, and it was a short film before it became a real film. He then decided the concept was so good that he got a contract with Netflix for them to air the movie for a few years on their platform. Unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, as of February 1st, 2021, Emo the Musical is no longer on the Netflix platform. Luckily, I was able to watch it through YouTube, and holy hell, this is one of the absolute worst films that I've seen in a while, and I sat through the room.
I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
So without further ado, let's watch Emo the Musical so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So the film starts out exactly how I opened the video, and I've already got issues with this musical. Who sat down and thought that that would be a good idea for the first line of the first song of a movie? The film is attempting, and I want to emphasize the word attempting, to be a dark comedy film. It does this weird thing sometimes, though, where it takes itself way too seriously, and I can't tell whether or not they're joking. And that's a problem with some of the jokes and themes that they bring up in this whole movie. There is a way to balance dark comedy and emotional pulls. If you could tell by my shirt, I have a BoJack Horseman shirt on, and that show does a great job at combining the emotional pulls mixed with the dark comedy and edgy humor type. Do I really expect Emo the Musical to give me an in-depth social commentary about how it is to be a emo in a current-day high school? No. No, I do not. Nah, let's just do a random cutting joke and get away with getting the audience's attention without saying anything of relevance at all. We learn that our main character, named Ethan, is an emo who likes death, sex, eyeliner, and all the other stereotypes you can think of. We also learn that he was expelled from his old school for attempting to commit suicide. Now, because this movie does a poor job at replicating what it is like to be someone that has attempted to commit suicide before, I am going to be linking some fundraisers for suicide help, suicide prevention, and mental health awareness. So if you guys feel free to just go in the description below and donate to some of those funds. That is very important for mental health, and especially because this film does a very bad job at portraying people with mental health. I would like to address that now. And now back into the jokes. Ethan gets led by this youth group into his new high school, and it turns out that this school is basically Glee, except there's only two cliques, the emos and the Jesus nerds. Has the guy who directed this ever been to a school before? I get that there are people that are emo, and there are people that are, extreme religious nuts in high school. But they're not, like, the two most popular cliques in the school. It should not be the main plot of a film. Anyways, Ethan sees a band playing that he wants to audition for, but because the leading guy is a douche, she's like, nah, this kid can't be emo. However, after proving he can play guitar and write songs, the main singer, named Bradley, begins to talk about the rock band competition that's coming up. He invites Ethan to the band, which Ethan gleefully agrees to. Then this thing happens.
So we have this tradition in the band where the bass player dates the guitarist.
Do we get badges for that?
Do you tongue kiss?
I haven't really.
The real drama begins the next day in class when Ethan is assigned to work on a project with one of the Jesus nerds named Trinity. Before continuing, I do want to say that I think the actors in this film do a very, very good job, and I think that the actress that plays Trinity probably does the best job. Like, the actors carry this movie, and is the only reason why I really paid attention for all of it. So good job on them. At first, it seems as if Trinity and Ethan can't get on the same page, but after bonding over folk music, I guess the director thinks that everybody likes folk music. They almost share a moment together, however, Trinity runs off because the Lord doesn't like kissing before marriage. The next day in class, Trinity presents a song for Ethan in front of the class, which he gets completely embarrassed by. She tracks him down, and then this happens.
Sorry, no one would suspect we like each other.
We don't like each other. You and me, we shouldn't even talk.
I think right in the middle of the hallway is a pretty discreet place to make out at. But uh-oh, for the first time ever, the school is sending two bands to the big competition. The emos versus the Jesus nerds. So this is where the main conflict of the film begins. 25 minutes into the movie. This film is littered with filler. There are multiple subplots going on all at the same time, and it just confuses everything. For one, the main Christian villain guy is getting this girl pregnant, and the whole joke is that he doesn't want to say he's the father because he's Christian.
Who made Jamali pregnant, Isaac?
It was immaculate.
There's another subplot going on about Roz liking both basketball and women. Then you have the subplot about the school getting put on drugs because they got sold out by some company. And then you have what I think is the most offensive of these subplots. There's a guy who's gay, and he gives himself shock therapy. And they play it off as a joke. And it's not funny. Who directed this? Mike Pence? And all of these subplots are going on at the same time as both the rock band plot and the Ethan and Trinity plot. This movie is too confusing for Emo the Musical. I never thought that'd be a sentence I'd ever say. Trinity is too busy checking out Ethan's ass and realizes, holy shit, I gotta get this kid baptized before we can get serious. You probably think that part was a joke, but no, that's actually the plot. We also learn in this scene the real truth about why Ethan got expelled from his last school.
Technically, it wasn't real. I kind of did it 6 times. I was lonely and I thought emos did that kind of thing. But I couldn't actually do it.
Trinity gives Ethan a Bible to take that was sentimental to her, and then he's off to go on to another date with another girl. Okay, so, I don't know if the director knows anything about, like, emos or anything like that, but, they're not exactly the biggest chick magnets in the world. I can tell you that much. Anyways, Ethan is able to go on a date with Roz the next day, but he just dumps her, and they make a scene in front of everyone. And honestly, this scene just made me weirdly uncomfortable the entire time.
I don't think we should see each other anymore.
Guys, hello? Sit down.
We're the emo power couple.
Excuse me?
God, I have not felt this alone since my mum told me that I was adopted.
But uh-oh, the emos found the Bible that Ethan has, and now Ethan has to commit arson to win his membership into the band back. He goes over to Trinity's place to officially dump her as well as give her the burnt Bible back. Dude, you had 2 girlfriends. How'd you fuck that up? Now here's where I have a major issue with this film. The emos go to do a concert at a small emo party, and they have shirts on that are made to look like they have a noose around their neck. I don't know what was going through the director's mind when they were doing this. I don't know if they thought that it was funny, or if they thought that they were being clever, or something like that. But honestly, it's just really offensive to anyone who has ever tried to, or family members of people who have tried to commit suicide before. I feel like if they just sat down and thought about it for another hour, they could have come up with something maybe a little bit more respectful. Now, if you remember, this movie is a musical. Why haven't you talked about any of the songs? Honestly, because they were all boring and forgettable. I genuinely did not remember listening to any of these songs except for this next one right here. And I can't even make this shit up. You just gotta listen to it.
You think Jesus smiled all the time. I don't think so. I don't think so. Think he locked himself in his room and cried. I think so. Yes, I think so. Do you think there might have been a chance? He liked my chemical romance. Yes, I think so. Could Jesus have been an emo?
I don't even... I can't words. Words cannot describe that. Oh, and this performance gets Trinity excommunicated from the church.
Trinity, you are excommunicated!
I don't think a nun has the power to do that. Right before the song, Trinity also let it slip that Ethan faked his suicide attempts. The Christian villain, whose name is Isaac, by the way, I never thought it was important to say that, I guess, uses that knowledge to put up posters all around school that Ethan is a faker. Ethan gets mad at Trinity for this, and then Trinity gets mad at Ethan back. Wait. But you told his secret to the only other 3 Christian people that go to the school. Why is she mad at Ethan again? She should be mad for Isaac for this. He's the one that went and spread all of his secrets to everybody. Man, emos do really get screwed over in this society. So the emos decide that they have to commit arson in revenge. What is it with this director and thinking that everybody that likes Green Day likes committing arson? Also, Bradley says this line and I think it's absolutely hilarious.
If I don't have a new song by tomorrow, I'll have a hitman chop you up into so many pieces you look like the human version of Lego!
The secret and the not-so-secret gay guys have a song together, but it gets interrupted when the emos send a video of them singing to Isaac, who threatens to take the gay Christian back to conversion therapy. And this is where Ethan draws the line.
He leaves, Ethan. They have no guitarist.
That is psychotic!
Let's go. Peter. Come on, Peter.
I can't.
Hey! When you signed up to the band, you said you would do anything
I didn't sign up to this.
win. You lied. You embarrassed us, and we finally get the opportunity.
And I'll quit.
So now this is where I believe that the film is trying to take itself way too seriously. Ethan decides to attempt to commit suicide, except he brings in a radio instead of a toaster into the bathtub with him. You can't really make jokes about suicide throughout your entire movie, and then come around at the end and try to have an emotional moment where one of your characters attempts to commit suicide. That's just not really how writing works. Anyways, it's competition day, and Ethan decides he wants to join the Jesus Nerds band. I guess that he's doing this to try and get closer to Trinity, but they never really explain it. This movie has a big problem with not explaining why it decides to make some of the decisions that it makes and why some of the characters do some of the things that they do. So I'm just guessing at this point with some of the plot. I guess we just have to believe it was the power of God. Ethan sees that the crowd is not digging the Jesus, so he kicks it up a notch and everyone loves the performance. After their performance, Isaac goes to the principal with the fact that the emos committed arson, and they're immediately disqualified from competing in the competition. Then, Bradley goes fucking berserk and holds Isaac hostage with a knife. The guy who puts on the concert, the main guy that Bradley wanted to play for due to his epic history, reveals that he too was a faker.
Doesn't solve anything.
But what about the time that you said kill all the traitors and the time that you burned your parents' coffin on stage?
It wasn't real.
And even after Bradley literally almost killed somebody, they let him play. What is this, Caillou? What the fuck? What does this teach people? You can just threaten your way into anything now? What a horrible way to end this movie. The movie ends by Bradley getting arrested, even though all 4 members of the band committed arson, so shouldn't they all be going to jail? And why am I questioning the logic of Emo the musical? Also, Trinity and Ethan get back together, Roz gets to play basketball, the gay guy gets to be gay, and the girl Isaac got pregnant slaps him, and boom. All the stupid subplots and main plots of this movie are done, and the movie has officially ended. This is one of the worst movies that I have seen in a while. Everything outside of the actors' performances in this movie was absolutely terrible. This movie has some of the worst dialogue that I've seen written in a minute.
Back out now, or I'll go Antichrist on you.
The songs aren't even good or funny outside of maybe Jesus Was an Emo, and that's only because of how horribly bad it is. I'm honestly kind of glad that this movie's contract ended with Netflix, so now nobody has to stumble across this very, very horrible film. If you do want to watch a really bad movie, though, because I know some people enjoy that, and even I get some enjoyment out of watching these bad films, feel free to look up Emo the Musical for yourself, but just be prepared for it to not be as funny as you think it would be. And now, a word from our sponsor. Big Brother the Game is a game based on the hit television game show where you can compete against other individuals in a social experiment for a chance to win up to $1 million. In the game, you will compete for head of household, nominate 2 people, play in the power of veto to save yourself from elimination, and vote to evict 1 person until there's only 1 person remaining. You then move up to another tier to compete against other former winners. The people who make it to the top tier will be the ones with a chance to win the money. Use the link in the description below today to download the game. Thanks once again to Big Brother the Game for sponsoring this video. If you like what I do here, please hit that subscribe button down below. We are attempting to hit 1,000 subscribers by April 1st, and we are very, very close to our goal. I believe as of filming this on March 14th, 2021, I have like 986, I believe, so we're very close to that 1,000 goal. So if you are not already, please hit that subscribe button so I can give you more videos that are like this. Also, make sure that you hit that like button, make sure you hit the share button, and make sure that you comment down below what videos you guys want to see next, and I could try and make anything happen. Join me next time where I make a balloon animal of Danny DeVito. Bye-bye.
Is it cool or gross to have sex with a 40-year-old?
Next illegal.